वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषये अवरोधिनां बुद्धये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति वेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात् कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्त्रं नतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तमाविद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रम्
ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं
नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुम्
हितार्थाय
मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय
बोधोऽभिधीयते।
तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते।
I'm sharing the video file of Tattva. Can you see?
Yes.
So, after the Dhyana Shloka, there was a discussion on the Jiva. Jiva means the individual. The Jiva. He is the Adhikari for the study of this text of Bodha. Viveka Vichara is the Adhikari. And he should be endowed with this sadhana type. Therefore, that was the next topic. Under Jiva, the discussion, first topic, which was discussed is sadhana chatushtaya. And the author mentioned Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekadi. The fourfold qualifications were mentioned when it was discussed. We elaborate These are very elaborately for many castes. So, after the prayer verse, the next topic was sadhana chatushtayam. The topic comes under the main topic, Jivaha. Then after discussing the sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, Sattva Viveka, which is the subject matter of the text of Boda, which is discussed. The author introduced new words, Atma, first time we are hearing the word Atma, and the word Satyam and Nitya and all. What is Atma? Since a student hears a name for the first time, therefore Atma has to be defined. So, therefore, what is Atma? That is defined. Stula Sukshma Karna Sharira Taha Panchakoshatitaha San Avastatraya Sakshi Satchidanantarupasannyaha Tishtati Saha Atma Iti. And in the definition of Atma, all the words are totally new. New for the student. Student is a beginner. Therefore, it is new. All the terms are new. The student has not studied even Gita. Therefore, he is a completely a novice, a new student. Therefore, every word has to be defined. That is how the text takes up a discussion. Next topic for discussion. Now, Stula, the word is the Stula Sukshma Karna Shariram. What is Stula Shariram? Stula Shariram has to be defined. The definition of Stula Shariram, Panchikrata Pancha Mahabhutarihi Kratam Sat. Panchikrata, new word is used, but author is going to define the process later. Other words are simple words, which doesn't need any further discussion. Therefore, it is not defined. Sukha Dukkadi Bhoga Ayatanam Asti Jayate Vardate Viparinamati Iti Stula Sharira. Then what is Sukshma Shariram? Sukshma Shariram is the definition of Sukshma Shariram is same as Stula Shariram, except it is Panchikrata Pancha Mahabhutaihi Kratam Sat. It is Sukha Dukkadi Bhoga Sadhanam. Stula Shariram was Ayatanam. Sukha Shariram is Sadhanam. And it has got all the 17 components. The Stula Shariram functions, the Stula Shariram is intact because of the Sukshma Shariram. All the faculties which you see manifested in the Stula Shariram is because of the Sukshma Shariram. When you say a person is intelligent, not that his brain is intelligent. The faculty which functions behind the brain, buddhi, thinking capacity, is a rational thinking faculty. That is part of the Sukshma Sharira. Similarly, if the person has got all his sense organs functioning well, doing its job properly, the sense organs reporting about the sense objects without any defect, it is because of Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas. And all the physical, physiological functions happen properly. There is no slag in the function of the physiological functions because of pranas. All the pancha prana all the Panchaprana, they function behind the Sthula Shariram, which is responsible for sustenance of the Sthula Shariram. Therefore, all these they form a component of the Sukshma Shariram. When Sukshma Shariram is absent, the person is said to be dead. Then, and this Sukshma Shariram, under the discussion of Sukshma Shariram, the words which were used to define the Sukshma Shariram, they are all discussed. Pancha Jnanendriyani. What are those Jnanendriyas? The student doesn't know. Therefore, the Jnanendriyas have to be defined. Karmendriyas, the student doesn't know. Therefore, Karmendriyas have to be defined. And Pancha Prana, that also have to be defined. Manaha Buddhi, that also the student doesn't know. Therefore, that also will be defined. So, each and every word of the Sukshma Shariram now it will be taken for discussion. And that is what we are saying. Now we will read. Sukshma Shariram Kim.
Sukshma
Sukshma-shariram kim
Panchīkrita Panchamahābhūtaihi Kritam Sat.
apanchīkrita panchamahābhūtai
कृतं सत्
kritam sat
Karmajanyam
कर्मजन्यं
Dukkādi Bhoga Sadhanam.
sukha dukkha bhoga
सुखदुःखादिभोगसाधनम्
Panchajnanendriyani Panchakarmendriyani.
pancha jnanendriyani pancha karmendriyani
पञ्चकर्मेन्द्रियाणि
Panchapranadayaha.
pancha pranadaya
पञ्चप्राणादयोः
Nashchaikam Buddhischayika.
manaschekam buddhicheka
बुद्धिश्चैका
Evam Saptadasha Kalabhihi Saha.
एवं
saptadasha
सप्तदशकलाभिः
kalabihi
सह
Yat Tishtati Tat Sukshma Shariram.
yat
तिष्ठति ततः सूक्ष्मशरीरम्
tat sukshma shariram.
Now, under what topic this Sukshma Shariram is discussed? This discussion of Sukshma Shariram comes under the topic Atma. Don't forget Atma. In the definition of Atma, Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Vyatiriktah, the word was that there Sthula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram, that also will be discussed later. So therefore, to know Atma, you have to know what is Sthula Shariram, what is Sukshma Shariram. Without the definition, without understanding what it is, you cannot define. So you have to know to define. Therefore, the knowledge of what they are is required. Just the word you know doesn't. The word you know it doesn't mean that you know what it is. Sthula Shariram has to be defined. The translation of the word Sthula Shariram into English as gross body is not the Sthula Shariram. It's not the understanding what it means. Similarly, Sukshma means Sukshma is subtle body. What is subtle body? You have to know. That's why it is defined. Nothing is taken for granted. So now, and in the discussion of Sukshma Shariram, the discussion of Sukshma Shariram, I told Sukshma Shariram is as though the connecting link between Atma and Sthula Shariram. You see, I said it is as though the connecting link. Even if I said it's a connecting link, You have to understand it is as though the connecting link. Now, where is Atma? Where is Atma? Is Atma located deep inside all the three sharirams? Now somebody has asked this question. I was surprised to see the question and the understanding also. That is, the Atma, Jivatma is located inside each individual, and Paramatma is all pervading. Jivatma is located in each individual means where it is located. Where is this Atma located? Whether it is Jivatma or Paramatma, it is Atma alone. If Jivatma is something different from Paramatma, then Siddhanta becomes Dvaita Siddhanta, duality. If duality is there, duality means subject-object difference. The plurality, I and other than I. I the subject and everything else, everything other than me, are the objects. That is duality, Dvaita. I is Satyam and the objects with which I have to deal with, they are also Satyam. Two Satyams. It's a problem. The subject, object, two things are there, therefore duality is there. When duality is there, subject, object, the difference is there. The subject always will be after the object. There will be continuous chasing of subject towards the object for some certain fulfillment. The samsara, what we experience is because of this dvaita, because of this difference, subject-object difference. We study Tattva Bodha, we do Tattva Viveka Vichara to remove this dvaita buddhi, to remove this notion of dvaitam, duality. If duality is Satyam, we don't have to read Shastram. Why should we read Shastram? Duality, to know duality, to understand duality, Shastram is not required because it is our experience. You have to read Shastram to understand Dvaitam, duality. I am there, the whole Jagat, including my body. The whole Jagat, when I say my family, my neighbors, my relations, even my body, they're all object. With reference to me, they're all object. Duality. That I know already. I don't have to study to know that Dvaitam is Satyam, not required. For that, Shastram is not required. For the fact which I know already, Shastram not required. Shastram cannot be a pramanam. What is a pramanam? A pramana, you can call a means of knowledge as pramanam only when it has got independent, only when it has got independency, independent of other means of knowledge. It has its own scope of, coverage. It has its own scope of revealing the knowledge. Other means of knowledge cannot reveal what this pramana reveals. Then only it is called a pramana. Remember all those discussion we had before under the topic pramana. What eyes reveal, ears cannot reveal. Therefore, to know the color or the shape of an object, what is the pramana? Eyes are the pramana, not ears. With ears, you cannot know the color of an object. How much ever you try, not possible. Anadhigata, abadita, arthavat, jnana janakam, pramanam. The pramanam, it should be understood very clearly. Now, if Dvaitam is Satyam, which I already know, then Shastram cannot be a Pramanam. Shastram cannot enjoy the status of being a Pramanam because already it is a known fact. Why we say Shastram is a Pramanam? In spite of this duality, the Satyam is Advaitam. Therefore, Shastram is Pramanam. Advaitam is not known to me. What I experience is Dvaitam. In spite of all my Dvaita Anubhava, the truth is Advaitam, which I cannot know by any other means of knowledge. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Anupalabdhi, Ityadi Pramanena, Jnatum na shakyate. Only through Shastram it can be known. Therefore, Shastram is the only Praman because it is not what Shastram covers, it is not covered by other means of knowledge, Anadhigata. And for what Shastram reveals, other means of knowledge cannot dismiss it, Abhadita. And it is got its purpose, it has got the usefulness of revealing or knowing a thing, Arthavat, and it generates the knowledge about that. Jnana. Therefore, understand Shastram is the only Pramanam for knowing the Advaita Vastu. Advaita means na Dvaita Advaita. There is no Dvaita. There is no subject-object difference. How can you say that there is no subject-object difference? I experience subject-object difference every time. That is what the Pramanam is. What you experience need not be the truth always. You experience the sky. Your perception of the sky is blue. The sky color is blue. Is it the fact? Is it Satyam? The sky is really colorless. It appears as though blue sky. It is because of the dispersion of light discovered by Sir C.V. Raman. It is because of the dispersion of light, the sky looks as though blue. It is colorless. The colorless sky looks as though blue. So therefore, the empirical experience of your observation, your experience of sky as blue, it is not valid with regard to the truth of the sky, which is colorlessness. Which is its colorlessness. Therefore, empirical experience need not be true always. Your experience may be there, but it is not the truth. The mirage water is there. The water is there in the mirage. Can you wash your clothes with the water? Or can you appease your thirst with that water? You see water. Water is not there. Your empirical anubhava is there is water, but you cannot touch it. You cannot touch it. And what to talk of drinking it or washing your clothes with that? It is not Satyam. Water is not Satyam. You see it, but it is not there. Therefore, you see which is not there. That is the truth in the empirical world. That is the truth. You see that which is not there. Therefore, the empirical anubhava need not be true always. You see subject-object difference. Really, it is not there. It is for that only pramanam is required, Shastra pramanam. Therefore, Jivatma, Paramatma, when we say Jivatma is individual, Paramatma is total. Therefore, individual, total, duality is there. Is duality Satyam? If duality is Satyam, then we don't have to discuss it. Then we need not have class at all. We don't need to have class. There need not be any sampradaya. There need not be guru. The guru need not be Shrotriya, Brahmanishta, not required. Nothing is required. Because that is the truth. Why it is required? Why Shankara Bhagavad Pada they had to write Bhashyams after Bhashyams for all the Upanishads and Brahma Sutra? Not required. The empirical reality, it's not the absolute one, absolute reality. What you see empirically, it's not true. In fact, you see what it is not in the empirical world. Therefore, this subject-object difference, if that is the empirical reality, empirical vyavaharika anubhava, that is not the truth. It is not the ultimate truth. That is the truth only in the vyavahara. But with respect to the ultimate reality, there is no subject-object difference. Therefore, Advaitam, therefore Shastram required. So, Jivatma, Paramatma, तयोः भेदः अस्ति चेत् शास्त्रस्य कोऽपि प्रयोजनं नास्ति. Jivatma and Paramatma, they are different. Let it be. Then why do we need Shastra? Not required. But what we talk about is the aikyam of Jivatma and Paramatma. The oneness of Jivatma and Paramatma. The oneness, that is the truth. But if the same one Atma appears as Jivatma with regard to the individual and with regard to the total, it is Paramatma. So, therefore, Tattvataha, Paramarthika Drishtya, there is only Brahma, that is Atma. That is Jiveshwara Aikyam, oneness of Jivatma and Paramatma. That is the truth. There is no Jivatma, there is no Paramatma. The two things are not there. Duality is not there. Since our empirical experience and therefore the conclusion is duality, therefore we use the word Jivatma and Paramatma in the beginning as though they are different, but ultimately to point out that they are not different. Since we are discussing here this topic, Jiva, which is individual, and the individual is made of all the three sharirams, etc. Whatever the discussion. Therefore, when we are discussing all the three shariram, we are discussing three shariram in the context of Atma. Now, where is Atma? Is the Atma located deep inside the shariram? Inside the Sthula shariram, Sukshma shariram is located. And inside the Sukshma shariram, Karna shariram is located. And inside the Karna shariram, this Atma is located. Is it like that? When we say everything is Atma, there is only Advaita. There is only Atma, there is only Brahma. When we say Brahma is a word we use for the Paramatma, the total. When we say everything is Brahma, where is inside and outside for Atma, for Brahma? When everything is Brahma, Brahma is Purnam, complete. When we say it is complete, then what is inside and outside for that complete, the Purna Brahma, the Purna Atma? Therefore, to say that Atma is located inside the Shariram is wrong. It is as though located. Atma is located everywhere. It is manifested in this individual Shariram. It is manifested in the individual Shariram. It is manifested in the total Shariram also. The total Shariram, what is the total Shariram? It is a Jagat, this Prapancha. This Prapancha is the Shariram of the Lord, the Paramatma. This body is a Shariram of the individual, the Jiva. The word for total is Samashti. Samskrita word for total is Samashti. The Samskrita word for individual is Yashti. Individual. This body is a prapancha. Yashti prapancha. This body is the prapancha, the world for the individual. Yashti prapancha. This jagat, which is the total samashti prapancha, it is the body for the Lord, the Paramatma. As the Jivatma enjoys this Yashti prapancha, this body, so too the Paramatma, the total, enjoys Samashti Prapancha, which is Jagat, the world, the universe. The Samashti Prapancha, the Jagat, is as though a body. It's the Upadhi of the Lord. Upadhi means the means by which it manifests. This consciousness, the Atma, it needs some upadhi for its manifestation. Like this, like the example, the light is everywhere. The light is everywhere, the sunlight is everywhere, but the sunlight which is reflected in the mirror, the sunlight which is reflected in the mirror is the upadhi. The mirror is the upadhi which reflects the sunlight. It becomes a second source of light. The main source of light is the sun, but the mirror becomes as though a second source of light because it reflects the sunlight. The sunlight is reflected in the mirror. So therefore, the mirror is the upadhi. This is only an example. Don't literally take understand the thing with this example. Only the example have to be looked upon as only example. So upadhi is that through which the consciousness manifests. Minus upadhi, the consciousness, the Atma continues to be. That is what we saw in Gita also. So this Shariram is upadhi for Atma at the individual level, and this Jagat is the Shariram is this individual. Shariram is the medium, is the upadhi. Shariram is the upadhi for the individual, Jivatma. This Jagat is the upadhi for the total, which is Paramatma. The consciousness, which is manifest through this Yashti Shariram, the individual body, is called Atma. The consciousness which manifests through the total Shariram, that is the Jagat, the Samashti Prapancha, is called Brahma. So we use Brahma, Atma sometimes interchangeably. Atma and Brahma. What is the difference between Atma and Brahma? They are not different. Brahma and Atma, they are not different. There is no difference between the waves and the water of the ocean. You see the waves in the ocean. Are the waves different from the ocean? Do you count waves and ocean, or it is just the ocean. Waves doesn't exist apart from the ocean. Waves are water. Ocean is also water. Waves being water and the ocean being water, the essential oneness of the wave and the ocean is because of this, because they being water. Similarly, Brahma Atma, it is the name given with respect to the Upadhi, Yashti Upadhi, Samashti Upadhi, but they are same. Therefore, Brahma, Atma, they are same. We say Jivatma, Paramatma, same. So Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikyam, that is the truth. That is our Siddhanta, Advaita Siddhanta. So, Jivatma, Paramatma, Aikyam, oneness, when we say not with respect to the Shariram, because Upadhis, that is Shariram is called Upadhi. Shariram is the Upadhi. We will talk about Upadhi later. Now you can understand the Shariram is the Upadhi, the reflecting medium. The Atma is reflected or manifested through this individual Upadhi, individual Shariram. The same Atma which is reflected or manifested through the total Upadhi, total Shariram, Samashti Upadhi, which is Brahma Paramatma. So, Jivatma, Paramatma, they are not different. Atma, Brahma, same. Yeah, Atma, Brahma, the words we use often interchangeably. Even in the word Paramatma, Atma is there. Jivatma, Atma is there. Jiva is Veshti Upadhi. Parama is Samashti. Upaditaha Vedaha, Natu Vastutaha. Upadhi Veda is there in the Vyavahara, in the empirical world. But really, Vastutaha, there is no Veda, there is no different. Therefore, Avedaha Advaitam. Now, that is the truth. To say that Atma is located inside the Sharira. Is it correct or understanding? When we say Atma is all pervading, Sarvavyapi, there is no place where Atma is not there. Everything being Atma, Atma is a truth, Advaita Atma. Then to say that Atma is located inside the body, that is wrong. That understanding is completely wrong. It means you have not understood Vedanta at all. Even if you have understood, you have been attending Upanishad class, Gita class, you have not understood at all. The same thing, but very purposefully, I discussed in the Gita class also, the last class. You tell me where clay is located in the pot. Is clay located deep inside the pot? Where is clay in the pot? Clay is, does it have location at the bottom of the pot or on the surface of the pot? Let you assume that clay, the pot has got certain thickness. It is on the periphery, the surface of the pot, or in the middle of the pot, or inside the pot, where this clay is located. Every point you touch, every point of the pot you touch, it is clay. There is no place where clay is not there. You touch anywhere of the pot, it is clay only. Pot is nothing but clay. Pot is a product. And clay is the cause. The cause pervades the product, the karya. Karanam is mrit. Karya is gataha. So this karanam mrit, the clay, pervades the karya gata. Now to ask where this clay is located. Assume that pot also has got three sharira. Stula shariram, Sukshma Shariram, and Karana Shariram. You assume that pot has also got three Shariram. Now, tell me where the clay is located in the pot, which has got three Shariram. Is the clay located in the Stula Shariram, or located in the Sukshma Shariram, or located in the Karana Shariram? Where it is located? If we can say this, where it is located, then I can say where Atma is located in the individual. In the Jiva, where it is located, I can say. Clay is located everywhere. There is no place where clay is not there in the pot. If pot has got Stula Shariram, the clay pervades the Stula Shariram. If pot has got Sukshma Shariram, the clay pervades the Sukshma Shariram. If the pot has got Karana Shariram, the clay pervades the Karana Shariram. Minus clay, the pot with the three Shariram doesn't exist. Similarly, here also, it is Atma which pervades all the three Sharirams. It pervades the Stula Shariram. It pervades the Sukshma Shariram. It pervades the Karana Shariram. The pot which has got Stula Sukshma Karana Shariram can you say the pot? The pot is, can you say the pot is the pot which has enjoys the three Shariram? Can the pot exist? Can it enjoy existence without play? No. So, clay, the apparent manifestation of clay is pot. The apparent manifestation of clay is pot. And the pot enjoys certain existence, that is empirical. But the truth of the pot is clay, that is absolute reality. From the absolute standpoint, there is no pot and clay. What is there is only clay. When you see the pot, you see the clay only, because the pot really doesn't exist apart from clay. Pot doesn't enjoy separate existence. Therefore, we call it as Mithya. That is what we saw in the definition. Atma Satyam Tadanyat Sarvam Mithya iti. Therefore, this Shariram, Stula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram, which are pervaded by Atma, they are Mithya. And we discussed Mithya very elaborately. Mithya doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Mithya means they do not exist apart from the Satya Atma. Stula Shariram is because of Atma. Sukshma Shariram is because of Atma. Karana Shariram is because of Atma. They all enjoy existence because of Atma. Therefore, they are Mithya. Atma is because of Stula Shariram. No, it is not. Atma is Satyam. When we say Atma is Satyam, it enjoys independent existence. Because it is independent, enjoys independent existence, Atma is independent. Therefore, Atma, Brahma is Purnaha, it is complete, total, Sarvavyapi, all pervading. There is no place where Atma is not there. Like the Akasha, the space, which is all pervading. Space also is only an example. Even space also is a product of Atma, product of Brahma. Brahma is the Karana. Karana Brahmanaha Akashaha Jayate. Taittiriya Upanishad, it is said, Tasmad Etasmad Akashaha Jayate Akashat Vayuhu Akasha Sambhutaha Akashat Vayuhu Vayo Ragnihi Agne Rapaha Apa Prithvi iti. From this Brahma, all this Panchabhuta, starting from Akasha, everything is born. Therefore, Akasha is also a product. Just for our understanding, we take Akasha because it is the only thing what we know as all pervading. Atma, which is the Karana, father of the Akasha, that must be really all pervading. When Atma is all pervading, then how can you confine this Atma to individual Shariram? The individual Shariram enjoys existence because of Atma, and Atma doesn't enjoy existence because of this Shariram. Therefore, to say that Atma is located inside the Shariram is wrong. Inside any particular location, in a particular area, you have to go deep inside. It is that understanding is completely wrong. Why I am discussing this? Because I got a question, and then I want to clarify that. Having listened to Vedanta for so many classes, if this understanding is there, I have to correct it. It's right time to correct it. It is wrong. That's why I give the example of the onion. Onion has got so many coverings are there. So you remove one by one cover layer, and find that one by one layer is like the Shariram or the Panchakosha, and Atma is sitting inside the Panchakosha, inside the Shariram. No, it's not like that. Atma is not like the onion. Like the onion has got so many layers, similarly, the Atma is inside and it is covered by so many layers of Shariram. So you have to peel each Shariram to know Atma. No, it is wrong. This Stula Shariram is Atma. But Atma is not the Stula Shariram. Remember this. Pot is clay, but clay is not the pot. Remember, the beggar B is A, but A is not B. If you understand that example, then you will understand this very clearly. B is A, but A is not B. That example must be clearly understood. I told that example before. The actor A is the beggar B. The actor A playing the role of the beggar. Therefore, the beggar B is A. B is A. But the actor, not always a beggar. In the drama, the stage is the beggar. But in the green room, the actor A is A only. It's always A. In fact, when he plays the role of a beggar also, he is A only. Therefore, B is A, but A is not B. Therefore, similarly, the pot is clay, but clay is not the pot. Why? Because from the clay, you can make other articles. You can make a plate, you can make a lid, you can make a cup. Therefore, it is not. But pot is clay. Yes. Clay is not the pot. Because clay is Satyam. You cannot confine a Satyam to Mithya Vastu. This Shariram is Mithya. This Shariram is Mithya. The Shariram is Atma. Stula Shariram is Atma. But Atma is not this Stula Shariram alone. This Sukshma Shariram is Atma. But Atma is not this Sukshma Shariram alone. This Karana Shariram is Atma, but Atma is not the Karana Shariram alone. The Stula Sukshma Karana Shariram is Atma, but Atma is none of them. You cannot say Atma is Stula Shariram. This Stula Shariram also. You cannot say Atma is Sukshma Shariram. No, it is Sukshma Shariram also. So, therefore, Atma is all the Shariram. Atma is all the Shariram. Therefore, you cannot confine the Atma to any particular Shariram. Every particular Shariram is Atma, but Atma is really none of them. Because it is all. It is Satyam. And all these are Nitya. If that is the truth, then where Atma is located? It is located deep inside the Shariram? No. So when I gave the statement, Atma is the connecting link. Is a connecting link. This Sukshma Shariram is a connecting link between the Atma and the Stula Shariram. When he said this Atma through the Upadhi of Sukshma Shariram, because it has got all the 17 components through which these faculties are manifested through the Stula Shariram. Through the Stula Shariram, all the faculties which form the part of the Sukshma Shariram. Atma has to be there for the manifestation of it. Minus Atma, there is no manifestation. What manifest? All these are Jada only. Therefore, I said it is a connecting link between Atma and the Stula Shariram. Sukshma Shariram is as though here also. Can supply as though. It is as though a connecting link. It is not a really connecting link. It is not really. The Atma is located inside and Stula Shariram is outside, and between that two, the Sukshma Shariram is located. It is not like that. Stula Shariram is also Atma, Sukshma Shariram is also Atma, Karana Shariram is also Atma. Then where is Atma? Atma being everywhere. So, to correct the understanding. When it comes to Vedanta, you need to remember what is Purva and Para. What was discussed before and what is discussing now. You have to see the connection. To say that Atma is all pervading, Sarvavyapi, it is Purnaha, unlimited, and at the same time to say that Atma is located inside and Atma is located inside, that is Stula Shariram, inside the Stula Shariram, Sukshma, inside the Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram, and Atma is located inside. Then it's a problem. Even when I say that, you have to understand that Atma is all pervading, pervades all the Shariram. At the same time, it is obtained in each body. Like the sunlight is pervading, all pervading, but it is obtained in the mirrors. The all pervading sunlight is obtained in the mirror. Similarly, the Atma, which is all pervading, it is obtained in the mirror-like medium. And Sukshma Shariram is a very refined medium, if at all if you can understand. For understanding, I'm saying. It's a refined medium which manifests. And Stula Shariram is required through which only the faculties are exhibited through the Stula Shariram. Therefore, this idea of locating inside has to go. Atma is located everywhere, and it is in the individual. It is pervading from the tip of the toe to the top of the head. Even though it pervades throughout the body, but Shastram for meditation, for Upasana, it says it is located on the right side of the body. The Hridaya Guha, Pundari Kaksham, iti The Shastram says that is for upasana. Atmanaha upalabdhi sthanam is this hridaya guha, the cavity of the heart, Kundari Kaksham iti, the lotus of the heart. Shastram says, it doesn't mean that it is Atma is located in the heart alone. No, it is all. If the Atma is located in the heart, then it must not be located in the leg, on the toe. Then, if it is not located, then you will not have any sense of experience. Only when it is all pervading, then you can sense the touch. If a mosquito bites your toe, if there is no sense there, then how will you know? Atma, the consciousness is there throughout the body. If there is no consciousness there, then you will not be able to sense the biting of a mosquito. But Shastram says it is located in the heart. That is for upasana. The Kathopanishad recent discussions is saw that. If you are attending Kathopanishad and you get confused because of that, then you have to understand that Shastram says that Hridaya Guha, it is for meditation. You have to meditate that Atma, which is located in the Hridaya Guha. That is for upasakas. This is for upasana. It is upasana is that where you superimpose a thing on the other for meditation. Like Shalagrame, Vishnu. In the Shalagrama, Vishnu is Aropitam. Vishnu is superimposed in the Shalagrama. Shalagrama is a stone, but you see that as a Lord Vishnu. Similarly, Shiva, it's a Linge Shiva, Shivaha Aropitaha. In the Linga, Shiva, Lord Shiva is Aropitam, it is superimposed, therefore you look upon the Linga as Lord Shiva. It is for upasana. We have so many forms of Devata for upasana. Similarly, the Shastram in the Upasana Kanda as well as in the Upanishad part also, for Upasakas, for the meditation on Atma, the Shastram says you can meditate on the Atma as though it is located on the right side of your heart. In fact, the physical heart is located left side. Where is heart? It is on the left side, not on the right side. But Shastram says Upalabdhi Sthanam of Atma is the right side of the heart, Hridaya Guha. That is for Upasana. Therefore, when the Upalabdhi Sthanam, suppose if you have heard the word Upalabdhi Sthanam of Atma, it doesn't mean that Atma is confined only to that particular place where it is obtained. No. It is obtained all over the Shariram. It is obtained in the Hridaya Guha, the Upalabdhi Sthanam, it is for Upasana. So, if that doubt is there, it must be cleared. It is for the Upasakas, it is prescribed. And Advaitam being the truth, Atma being all pervading, there is no particular place where it is located. Therefore, Atma is not located deep inside the three Sharirams or the Panchakosha. So this must be very clear. If Atma is located deep inside, then how are you going to discover that Atma? Then the Shariram is not Atma. The Shariram is, what is the Shariram then? The Shariram enjoys separate existence because Atma is located inside, like you keep gooseberries inside a pot. Pot is different, gooseberries are different. Where are gooseberries? They are located inside the pot. The pot have to be broken. The pot has to be broken to get access to the gooseberries. Similarly, the shariram has to be broken to get into the Atma. No, it's not like that. It is not like that gooseberry is located inside the pot. The Atma is located inside the Sharira. Atma located everywhere. Atma is Satyam. It is located everywhere. There is no place where Atma is not. But what about these Upadhis? These Upadhis are Atma, but Atma is none of these Upadhis. You cannot confine Atma to anything. It means what? It means Atma is all pervading. It is there in all the three Sharirams. All the three Sharirams are pervaded by this Atma. For our understanding, only I said, the Sukshma Shariram is as though the connecting link between Atma and the Sthula Shariram. Okay. Why? I said also, because we are discussing from Sthula to Karana. By gradation, we are discussing. First, Sthula, the gross part is discussed. Then Sukshma part we are discussing. Then Karana we are going to discuss. And what was the definition of Atma? Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, Sharirat, Vyatirikta. It is different from all the three Sharira. It is none of them. That is what we said, Mithya. You cannot say Atma is Sthula Sharira. You cannot say Atma is, because it is all not any particularly any one of them. So to dismiss the idea that Atma is Sthula Shariram, therefore we discuss Sthula Shariram. To discuss the idea that Atma is alone this Sukshma Shariram, therefore we discuss Sukshma Shariram. Similarly, to dismiss the idea that Atma is Karana Shariram alone, therefore we are going to discuss Karana Shariram. Therefore, Vyatiriktaha, Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Vyatiriktaha iti. Atma is none of them, but everything is Atma. That is, then only we can say Atma Satyam. Otherwise, we cannot say Atma Satyam. And that Atma is you. You are the subject matter of discussion. If you are located inside the body, then what is this body? The body is not you. The body is you, but you are not the body alone. If you understand this, you understand Satyam Mithya, then the question of where this Atma is located will not be there. Okay. Okay, we can stop here. I hope this question is answered very elaborately. We'll continue our discussion on Adhisthana Devata in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanta Shanta Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Ram. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.